Dear students, in this video we are going to identify what the curve is from the given equations. Okay, in the previous video named as curve tracing 1, we have given some hints on how to identify a curve from the given equation. Okay, what is the purpose of this? See, our overall aim is to draw a curve from the given equations. For that, the initial step is we have to identify what the curve represents. Okay, for that only we have saw the hints in the previous video. Okay, see, these were the hints given in the previous video. For a line, the maximum degree of x and y should be 1, that is it may be 0 also. For circle and ellipse, see, for circle and ellipse you should be careful on one point. Okay, for both x and y the degrees were 2. Okay, for both x and y the degrees were 2. For a circle, coefficient of x square will be equal to coefficient of y square. See, this is what I explained in that video. Okay, for a circle the coefficient of x square will be equals to coefficient of y square. For an ellipse, coefficient of x square will not be equal to coefficient of y square. And one more thing is there, both x square and y square should be of the same sign. Either both should be plus or both should be minus. Okay, if the coefficients were equal, it represents circle. If the coefficients were not equal, it represents ellipse. Okay, for a parabola, if the degree of x is 1, the degree of y will be 2. If the degree of x is 2, the degree of y will be 1. Okay, with the help of these hints, we are going to solve around 15 problems in this video. This will give more and more confidence on identifying a curve from the given equations itself. This video is enough, maximum enough to get a clear-cut idea on identification of a curve. Okay, let's see problem number 1. The given equation is x minus y equals to 2. See, for all the problems we are going to conclude with the help of what? Only the degrees of x as well as the degrees of y. Okay, see, so for that I am just putting it in common, what degree of x and degree of y. Okay, in this, what is the degree of x? Again I am just telling you, the degree means the maximum power of that variable. See, degree of x means what is the maximum power of x in this equation? Just 1. Okay, here what is the maximum power? I am just changing the color to blue. Okay, what is the maximum degree of x here? 1, as well as what is the maximum degree of y? 1. So if both the degrees were 1, okay, if both the degrees were 1, it represents line. Okay, now see, take problem number 2. What is the maximum power of x here? The maximum power of x is 2. Okay, and the maximum power of y is 1. That is what we refer as degree. Degree means maximum power of that particular variable. See, as we mentioned in the previous video, in the hint also it is given, if x takes the degree 2 and y takes the degree 1, it represents parabola. Okay, then move to problem number 3. See, what is the maximum power of x? See, here the power is 2 and here the power is 1. So the maximum power is called the degree. So the maximum power is 2 and y occurs here only. So the maximum power is 2. So the degree of y is also 2. See, if both the degrees are 2, there are 3 cases. That is circle or ellipse. It can be circle or ellipse. It can be hyperbola. How we can come to a conclusion? Okay, how we can come to a conclusion whether this curve represents circle or ellipse or hyperbola. For these 3 curves, both the degrees will be equal to 2. How we are going to choose the correct option? This represents circle or ellipse or hyperbola. See, the very first and foremost thing is you should check the symbols of x square as well as y square. What were the symbols of x square and y square? Both were same, both were positive. So surely it won't be hyperbola. Okay, it won't be hyperbola. The next, only 2 choices remaining. What were those? Again, for a circle, the coefficients will be equal. See, here the coefficients were not equal, so the circle option is also ruled out. Okay, the circle option is also ruled out. So the only option is ellipse. Okay, this is how you should come to a conclusion when you have both the degrees were equal to 2. See, in the next problem itself, again, what were the maximum power of x here? X occurs in 2 places. Here the power is 2, here the power is 1. The maximum power comes into role. Again, for y also, here the power is 2, here the power is 1. So the maximum power is 2. Again, we are having the same 3 choices here. Again, we are having the same 3 choices: circle or ellipse or hyperbola. Okay, how we are going to come to a conclusion here? Again, see the symbols. See the symbols. The very first thing is, if both the symbols of x square and y square were the same, either both can be positive or both can be negative, doesn't matter. If both have the same symbol, it won't be a hyperbola. Okay, if both carries the same symbol, it won't be an hyperbola. So the hyperbola option is ruled out. Okay, hyperbola option is ruled out. Then what is the second thing we are going to discuss? See the coefficients. See the coefficients. Here the coefficient of x square is 5 as well as the coefficient of y square is also 5. So it represents circle. If the coefficients were different, it represents ellipse. Okay. Now come to the next problem. Here what is the degree of x? X occurs only here. So the maximum power is 1, and y is occurring here. The maximum power is 2. As I told you, if one variable takes the degree 1 and the other variable takes the degree 2, it represents parabola. Okay. Now come to the next one. Here there is no x variable term. There is no x variable. So the degree of x will be 0 and the degree of y will be 1, as you are having the maximum power of y is 2. Okay. See, the condition for a line is the maximum power should be 1. Either any term, that is any variable, can take the degree 0 also, doesn't matter. If the maximum degree is equal to 1, it represents a line. Okay, it represents a line. See, come to the next one. Here what is the degree of x square and what is the degree of x here? See, x occurs here as well as here. The x power is 1 here. The power of x is 2. So the maximum power is 2. And here the power of y is 1. Here the power of y is 2. So the maximum power is 2. Again, we are having, see, repeatedly we are writing the same thing. We are having three choices. If both the powers, that is both the degrees of x and y were 2, we are having three choices. The choices were circle, ellipse or hyperbola. Okay. How to rule out the options? Again I am telling you, listen carefully. See here, we are having the symbols of x square and y square. Both the symbols were equal. Both the symbols were equal. That is, both the symbols were minus. Okay, both the symbols were minus. So we are ruling out the option hyperbola here. We are ruling out the option hyperbola. Okay. Now, what about the coefficients? The coefficients were the same. See, here also minus 4, here also it is minus 4. So it will be a circle. Okay. See, the next problem, of course the next two problems, I didn't change the coefficients. I just change the symbol and coefficients like that only. There are no major changes. See, in both the equations, the degrees of x as well as y were 2 only. Okay, were 2 only, no doubt on that. See here, if again I am just writing you, I want to be more precise in this. If the degrees of x and y, if the degrees of x and y were equal to 2, there are three choices. The first thing, we have to check the sign, that is plus minus, that is what we named as sign. Here the sign of x square is minus, here the sign of y square is plus. So signs differ, so it represents hyperbola. Of course, in our syllabus we won't see hyperbola at all. Okay, just to know the basic concepts only I am telling here. Okay, see, in the next problem here, the coefficient of x square and y square. Okay, the coefficient of x square as well as y square are both of same symbols and the coefficients differ. Okay, so it will be an ellipse. Okay, see here, the next problem, the maximum power of x is 2 and the maximum power of y is 1. Check it out again. Here the maximum power of x is 2 and the maximum power of y is 1. So it represents parabola. Okay. The next problem, here also the power of x is 2 and the power of y is 1. That is the maximum powers only we are telling again. Again it represents a parabola. Okay. The next one, the degree of x as well as the degree of y is 1. So it represents a line. Here again in this problem same, here the degree of x is 1, here the degree of y is 0. Why? Because y term is not present there, so it represents line. Again here the degree of x is 2 and the degree of y is 2. See, we are having three choices. X square symbol is positive and y square sign is negative, so it represents hyperbola. Okay, keep one thing in mind before fixing it. See, let me tell one more example. See, what does this curve represent? See, 2x square equal to 3y square plus 6. See, here the degree of x as well as the degree of y were 2. No doubt on that. But both didn't carry the same symbol. Okay. you should be more careful on this. Okay, whenever you are going to check the symbols of certain coefficients, you should bring all the terms to the left hand side. You should bring all the terms to the left hand side. That is only the variable terms, no matter about the constants, or it can be represented like this. Okay, from this equation or this equation only you should come to a conclusion. Okay, now the symbols were different, so it represents hyperbola. Okay, see, in the next videos we will be tracing the curves. Okay, thank you.